Alright, so I've got a 2015 Tahoe here, and the initial concern that it was brought in for was a check engine light on, and the code that it set was a different one. Hadn't really seen it too very often. The code was P050D, and the definition of that code is cold start performance. And sure enough, after we let the vehicle sit overnight, went and started up in the morning, it had a misfire, bad misfire. And this is a direct injected 5.3. As you can see, you got the fuel rails here. I've got them capped off because I've got the lines taken off to keep dirt out when I clean all this out here. But what these injectors do during cold starts is they're dual pulse. They actually spray 2 shots of fuel into the cylinders to help it warm up faster and to improve cold starting performance. Well, these injectors like to stick and like to get stuck open, and such was the case with cylinder number 8. So whenever the cold start happened, it was getting stuck open and just dumping a bunch of fuel into cylinder number 8, causing it to run really rich on the passenger side bank here, and it was setting a rich code. It was setting a misfire code on cylinder 8, and I've done like 3 or 4 of these before, so I knew right what it was. But I took everything off, got the intake off, and I'll show you the rail over here. This is a direct injection fuel rail. So by direct injection, it means it's actually spraying the fuel directly into the cylinder on the compression stroke. So that improves fuel efficiency, improves power. It does a lot of things. It's like a diesel engine basically, but it's injecting gasoline fuel. Here's the replacement injector right up here. I'll show you what this looks like. It comes with new seals for the previous injectors, because you're supposed to reseal these injectors whenever you put the rail back in. There's a new injector, and it's got the 2 new seals on it, and the other seals, they're still in the box here. Here's the other one, and there's your little clip for the injector as well. In this case, this is number 8 right here. This is the one that went bad. So I'm going to take the injector off, put the new one on, get everything else done here, put it back together and see what happens. But one thing I found was kind of interesting while I was cleaning it off with my air nozzle here, just goes to show you the power of air pressure when you have it over a larger surface. So just coming out, you know, of that little tip there on the end of my blowgun here, I can actually stop that with my thumb, and it's not that difficult. But if I put it down in one of these direct injection fuel ports here and squeeze it, the engine will actually rotate. You'll see the belt move. Thought that was kind of neat. So, it's driving the pistons up and down on the compression stroke. Anyways, so I'm going to throw this injector in here, start it up, see if it idles smooth now when it's cold. Hopefully that takes care of the problem. Pretty sure it is. It's like I was saying, I've seen this issue about 3 or 4 times, and the fix has always been to replace the injector. There is a process on GDS2. If you're having trouble finding it, you can do an injector balance test. And basically what it'll do is it'll command the fuel injector open. It's either open or closed. It's been a while since I've done it. And it'll compare the rail pressure to when you command the injector on and off. If it doesn't change, then you know the injector's bad and it's sticking. Anyways, put this new injector on here, throw everything back together. It doesn't take too long. The intake comes right off. You've got 5 bolts on this side, the other bolts on the other side. You have to pop a little wiring harness loose, loose on the back here, and once you get that off, it's smooth sailing. Little Christmas tree clips pop right out of there, a few sensors to unplug, and then the intake comes right off. It's a piece of cake to get out. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get to this point here. Depends on how difficult it is to get the rail off too. Sometimes those can really be stuck in there. There's a special tool that you can use. I've had just as much luck using a pry bar very carefully under the rail with some rags so I don't bend the rail or damage it in any way, but I've been able to extract those rails with that as well, because they will not come out of there. They're seized in there pretty good. So let's get this back together, see what happens. Just got finished cold starting it, and it's running perfectly smooth. I cleared all the codes, and it's running beautifully now. What we got to do now is go out and road test it. If it drives fine, no misfires under load, then we're all set and it's good to go. Not too big of a job. It took about an hour and a half to do, so not too bad, including diagnosis as well. These can be done pretty quick. One thing you need to make sure you do as well is check for fuel leaks. I did see one of these with a fuel leak from one of the fuel rail lines, and it was dripping right onto the catalytic converter down there. Sure, it's a good thing, but I've only seen that once. And other than that, this thing is all set to go.